What's up guys, it's your boy Dekkster here, and it's the month of October and we have some new top decks of the month. The meta hasn't changed too much and it's kind of stable now, so if you're looking to craft something, we got some great choices for you. All this data is going to be from Vicious Syndicate. I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that. I just really like these reports. They'll be linked in the description. Be sure to check them out and read the full report because I can't go over everything. I do stream on Twitch. I stream on Twitch, guys. So if you want to drop by my Twitch, hit me with a follow or something like that. I would definitely appreciate it. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it. For class archetype distribution, we can look here, ranks 4 to 1. Most popular class is going to be Warlock. We got 20.8%, with 10% of them being Zoo and 7% being even. After that, we have Druid, which is 17.2% of all things you're going to be seeing. And this one's pretty even as far as what it's split up into. We got a lot of Token Druid. You got Mage Druid, you got Togwaggle, and you got Taunt Druid. This kind of seems to be an issue to me because you can't really distinguish what kind of Druid they are until it's too late because they're running, 20 of the same cards for each different archetype. After that, we got Hunter at 14.3% with lots of Cube Hunters as well as Secret Hunters. And then Rogues, Mage, Shaman, Warrior, Priest, and Paladin. Paladin, not popular at all. I don't know what's happened. If we look at Legend here, though, we can see things change a little bit. A lot more Druids, still a ton of Warlocks, and then we got Rogue, Hunter after that, Mage, and then, yeah. So let's look at class frequency. We can see by day, lots of jagged lines, lots of changing. I usually like looking at by week and then just kind of looking at the end here. We can see Warlocks have gone up in play. Druid has gone down. Rogues have ticked up. Hunter's dropping a little bit. But yeah, things are relatively stable. No sharp changes really happening here because yeah, not much going on. We look at matchup win rates here. You know how this works. Green means you got good matchups, red means you got bad matchups. So maybe you want to play things with more green. Token Druid seems to be amazing. Even Warlock, Zulu Warlock, those also look great. Then you got some classes with mostly red, like Resurrect, Priest. Not much green there. I don't know, maybe you want to stay away from that one. Even though it's a lot of fun, it's a good time, and it can win games. Looking at power rankings here, ranks 4 to 1, you can see we got 3 tier 1 decks. We got Token Druid, Even Warlock, and Odd Warrior. So if you're looking, to push to Legend, it doesn't matter if you're rank 15, rank 17, 21, 19. These 3 decks can definitely take you to Legend. And pretty close right underneath there, we got Even Shaman, Cube Hunter, Odd Rogue, God Pally, all that stuff. If we look at Legend, as opposed to 4 to 1, we can see there's 4 decks in tier 1. We got Even Lock, Token Druid, Odd Warrior, and Zoo Warlock. And I'm thinking the reason Zoo Warlock kind of jumps up here in Legend is because you're going to be seeing a lot more Druid, and Zoo Warlock tends to do well against Druid. Okay, let's look at the meta score here. Ranks 4 to 1. Further right on the x-axis, the more powerful the deck is, and the further up on the y-axis, the more frequent it is. Power, frequency. Power, frequency. So Token Druid, really powerful. Not too frequent for some reason. Then Even Warlock also really strong and very frequent. And then the third deck behind here is the Odd Warrior, and you're not seeing too much Odd Warrior. So yeah, maybe Odd Warriors are a really good one. They won't expect it. But if you're just looking for really strong decks that you want to grind with, you kind of want to master, you want to hit Legend, seems like Token Druid and Even Warlock are great decks to kind of switch back and forth between, with Odd Warrior as a tight third choice. If you're relatively budget and you can't afford those, I still think Odd Rogue's a pretty good choice. So yeah, let's go ahead and go through each of the classes. I'm just gonna choose one of the decks that kind of stands out to me. There's usually 2 or 3 per class, but I'm only gonna cover 1. So let's start with Druid. And with Druid, we got so many good lists. We got Token Druid, we got Mage Druid, got Togwaggle Druid, we have Taunt Druid, and we even have Mechathune Druid, which has been looking promising, but I'm gonna cover Scavenger, Token Druid, because it just seems to be the best right now. This is just such a great choice if you're looking to grind some things out. So many different paths to victory. You can play the long con. You can be really aggro and you win out early. The big combo here is kind of Whispering Woods with Soul of the Forest. It's just so difficult for your opponent to clear. But then we have other things we can do. Maybe you just throw down a Chain Gang. You throw down a Strong Shell Scavenger on top of that, and you have a huge board. We have Floop, which is, he's so versatile. He can be an extra Strong Shell. He can be an extra Chain Gang. He can be an extra Tyrant, an extra Giggling. And yeah, it's nutty. If your opponent goes too wide, you just hit him with a Spreading Plague, and then the following turn, you hit it with a Scavenger or something like that. Plus being able to combo up here Landing 2 Savage Roars and a Branching Path adds so much damage. Sometimes it's gonna look like you're gonna lose, your opponent's gonna think he's gonna win, and then boom, Savage Roar, Branching Paths, you win. Okay, so let's look at Warlock. So we do have different variations of Zoo Lock, you got Even Lock, you got Control Lock, and you have Cube Lock. And I've also been enjoying Mecha'thun Lock. But the best is definitely Even Warlock. It's good at dealing with all these aggressive decks. And then against control decks, they kind of struggle against you. If you're playing against Druids, they can't really deal with your 4-mana 7/7s, Mountain Giants, and your Lich King and all that stuff. They just don't have that great of removal for tall dudes. Plus, you never go too wide, so you're not too weak to Spreading Plague. And if they do Spreading Plague, you got Mossy Horror. The Giggling Inventor, you got Mossy Horror. Then you also got Geist in here, so you can, get rid of their spell stones, their naturalizes. And actually, Geist is just good in general, not just against Druid, but against everything. Getting rid of maybe deadly poisons, cold bloods, shield slams. The list goes on. But yeah, Even Warlock is insanely strong. Has strong early, mid, and late game. And yeah, I mean, it's really hard to beat it. You got Rogue here. We got Quest Rogue, you got Odd Rogue, you got Cube Rogue, and Miracle Rogue. Cube actually seems to be doing okay, but I feel like maybe that's only in higher legend. I haven't seen it too much outside of there. So I'm gonna talk about Odd Rogue. Like, Quest Rogue is great, seeing a resurgence, but the power level for some reason it just doesn't seem as good as Odd Rogue right now. And Odd Rogue hasn't really changed. It's kind of the same as, earlier on in the expansion. We kind of did remove those Void Rippers because they're kind of to tech against Druid. Well, actually, if you're just seeing Druids in general, you probably don't want to play Odd Rogue. If you're not seeing Druids, you play this without the Rippers instead of teching in the Rippers to beat Druids, which you don't want to play against even if you do have the Rippers. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you just curve out real nice here. Play a 1-drop, you dagger. Play a 3-drop. Play a 1-drop and a 3-drop. You play 5-drop, boom, you win. The Blood Knights are here to kind of tech against Giggling Inventors, since it's like 40% of decks are running Giggling Inventors right now. You can also just use it to steal the shield off your Squire or something if you want to, or off your opponent's Squire. And if you don't have Edwin, don't worry about it. Maybe just throw in like a Blink Fox instead, or I guess you could do a Ripper too. Also, if you don't have Element, you can also do another Blink Fox in favor of that. Element is great. It's amazing. It refills your hand. Sometimes it helps you find lethal. But, if you're on a budget, maybe Blink Fox will do the trick. So we got Hunter, and Cube Hunter is really, really strong. It's pretty much like Recruit Death Rattle's sort of Hunter, using, Katharina, pulling out Crush, maybe some Grizzlies and stuff like that. But I'm really enjoying Secret Hunter. Spell Hunter is also not bad, but this Secret Hunter from HotMEOWTH is insanely good. This one's actually running Snipes, and the Snipes are good if you're playing against things like Aluneth Mage, which seems to be a really popular archetype right now, or if you're playing against Quest Rogue, like just sniping something, like maybe the Quest Rogue's planning to bounce Glacial Shards and do that for their quest completion, but then you snipe it, and they're like, oh crap, I can't bounce it. Or maybe you snipe a Mana Worm, or you snipe a Kirin Tor Mage. Like, Snipe is just great. Maybe you snipe an opponent's Bear Shark, or their Houndmaster, or like a Homunculus or something. Snipe is great when no one expects it. If they're playing around the Snipe, then it's not as great, and maybe you want to put in the different traps. Maybe you drop those for an extra Wandering and a Freezing or something like that. But I'm really enjoying these Snipes right now. They seem fantastic. But yeah, here you just, you play maybe a Secret Keeper into a trap, into another trap, into a Coin Spellstone. Maybe, oh no, you ran out of cards. You just refill your hand with Subject 9, you start jamming more secrets. Maybe, oh no, you can't beat your opponent yet. You just play Rexar, and then you have a card every turn. Shaw's just, he's a beast. You can't deal with Shaw, and Spellstones are just so much value. And then being able to Mossy Horror here to get rid of your opponent's Giggling, because they will have Giggling, is just great. I enjoy this one, and you should too, or I don't know, maybe not. So Mage, like Big Spell Mage for some reason, it just seems like there's better control lists, so no one actually runs Big Spell Mage. I mean, they do, it's just not frequent. But Aluneth Mage is so good right now, especially, once again, because of the Quest Rogues, but also because of so many Warlocks. Pretty good matchup against Evenlock. You just curve out some nice Mana Worm's like the best 1-drop in the game, and you play an Arcanologist, you play Kirin Tor with the Secret, you play an Anomaly, you blast them in the face, you reload with Aluneth, you reload with Stargazer Luna. It's insane how much burn this deck has. Oh, it is a good idea to, maybe change your secrets up. Maybe you want to run 2 counter spells because no one really plays around that. Everyone usually expects 2 explosive runes and 1 counter spell by now. So maybe you run a mirror entity in there, or just 2 counter spells or something. I don't know, it's just insanely good. I guess it's also not too expensive, although it does have niche legendaries like Aluneth and Luna. But if you have either Aluneth or Luna, you might want to consider crafting the other to make this list because it's so good. So Shaman seems to be falling off the radar a little bit. We do have Shudderwock Shaman. It's just it's occasional. I don't see too many of them. We got mid-range Shaman, which seems to be falling in popularity as well. But then we also got even Shaman, which you don't see too much of, but it is a really good list. I think, I'm not sure why too many people don't play it. Maybe some people think it's boring or something, but I think it's great. Just being able to totem, and then be able to hit that totem with a Flame Tongue or a Direwolf, be able to constantly apply pressure to your opponent. Seems like if your opponent deals with the board, you could just easily reflood it. Then you have a ton of, mid-heavyweight dudes like the Fire Elementals, Alakir, Kalamos, Lich King. It just seems like there's so much pressure, and often your opponent can't respond, and they crumble. Of course, because we can flood the board, we also get these Sea Giants, which end up being relatively low mana cost. And yeah, this is an expensive one, isn't it? 11,000 dust. I don't know, be careful crafting it, because there's other lists that perform similarly, a lot less dust. So many niche legendaries like Alakir and Hagatha and Kalamos. But I really do enjoy this list. So Warrior pretty much just has one list right now, and that's gonna be Odd Warrior. There's Odd Warrior and there's Odd-Taunt, and there's kind of Fibbo's Mechathune Control Warrior. But Odd Warrior variants just seem to be stronger, especially with, all these aggro lists coming out. You get Odd Rogue is good against Odd Rogue, and it's really good against Aluneth Mage, and I've been seeing a ton of Aluneth Mages. So there is the non-quest version, but I really like the quest. I like having a win condition and being able to throw balls in my opponent's face. The package is relatively similar. You're just dropping, boom, you're dropping those Omega Assemblies. So you don't have much late game longevity. It doesn't really matter when you're slamming them in the face with the ball every turn. You just deal with your aggressive opponents by putting up walls, Tar Creeper, Stonehill, Direhorn Hatchling, Giggling Inventors, Phantom Militias. And then once they start running out of threats, you slam them in the face with a few balls and it's GG usually. If you're playing against something super control-y that's probably gonna beat you in the long run, maybe like a Togwaggle Druid, maybe just rush that quest down, you start slamming them in the face, and maybe they can't deal with it. So I like the versatility of this one. Just feels super strong, super collider, so good. Dynomatic, insanely good as well. I'm actually really wanting to play some of this. Maybe I'll play some of this tomorrow. So Priest, not too much action with Priest. Of course, we always got Combo Priest, which I haven't seen too much, although I did play a couple. They were actually really good. But I guess it's not doing too good in an aggressive meta. You also have Control Priest, which I actually hit Legend with last month. And then we have Asmo's Resurrect Priest, which is insanely fun. It does have a really low win rate though. I mean, he hit rank 1 Legend with it a couple times. I just think the learning curve on this thing, it's just really hard to learn. Also, you probably don't see too many people playing it because it does have a lot of more niche legendaries as well. Mostly, I guess, Cloning Gallery, maybe Lyra and Velen. You don't see those around too much. But this is just, it's so much fun. It's so cool. A lot of times you end up doing a gallery. It pulls 2 Radiant Elementals, which discounts your spells, obviously. Pulls Velen and a Mali. And then you can just like hit them with Mind Blast on Mind Blast, maybe a couple smites in the face and they're dead. This is sometimes referred to as OTK Priest because of that situation. I don't know, maybe you Shadow Essence out a Velen or something, or a Mali, and then the next turn you actually play a real Velen, and then you smite and Mind Blast, you hurt him for a big chunk. Or maybe you have a Velen stick and your Mali already died, and then you Servitude it, you bring it back. It's just like your opponent kills your dudes and you can just bring them back super easy. This is great against greedy decks, really control-y decks, but not so good against aggro because you can't really stabilize and get to that end game. Sometimes your Thanos and your Lashes kind of good enough to make you survive, but we don't have too much early game, and it often just falls flat against aggro stuff. But maybe if you're higher up Legend, it does a lot better because there's not as much aggro high Legend for some reason. All right, so we got the most disappointing class, maybe, which seems to be Paladin. We do have Exodia Paladin. I have seen some even Paladins popping around. I think they're kind of fun, but it didn't seem to make it to this report. But I guess the best is just gonna be Odd Paladin, and you're really not seeing too many Odd Paladins. It's kind of just not too spicy. Maybe that's why some people are playing it. And it also just gets wrecked by Druids because because they have this Spreading Plague card. And if they have that card, it's just over. So I guess that's a good reason to not play Paladin. But it is good against stuff like Odd Rogue. And I guess, yeah, if you're just not seeing Druids in general, it's probably okay. So I mean, if you have this and you're thinking, hey, what happened to Odd Paladin? I'm not seeing Odd Paladin anymore. You can go ahead and play it. It's still pretty good. But if you have Dust sitting by and you're thinking about making this or something else, I'd probably make something else. But if you already have the cards, why not play this, right? So that's gonna be it, boys. If you're just looking for, you know, the top couple decks, it's definitely gonna be Even Lock and Token Druid. And then we got Taunt Warrior. And Taunt Warrior can get better as the meta gets more aggressive. So yeah, take that into consideration. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you like the video, hit it with a like. Leave a comment down below about what you think about the meta. Stay hydrated, and we'll see you next time. Peace.